and things. So we're going to talk about also that particular question. Now, before I talk about a question, let me go over today's concept. Today's concept is very easy, but you have to understand a little bit better. So I'm going to put it here. So today's concept is pretend that you're going home or you're going, I don't know, you're going to a places and you got to go do a stop sign. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to assign some positive direction and negative direction. First, you need to know is speed is equal to absolute value of v of t dt. It's absolute value of v of t. It has to be absolute value, right? So this is something that you need to know for sure. So I'm just give you an idea that just say if I drive north and if I assign north it's a positive direction, then I can say I'm driving 100 mile per hour, positive. If I'm going to Miami, then there'll be negative 100 mile per hour because it matters of direction, which direction you're going.
South is negative.
Well, if I assign north is positive, right? So if I assign right is a positive, then that I'm going to Daytona is going to be positive direction. Then there's a negative direction going to Tampa. So I can assign a sign depending on direction you're going to. So velocity is depends on vectors, which vector it matters. Now, where is speed is the magnitude of a velocity. So those something that you need to pre-understand before you go in any further. Now, for me, like you need to do is you need to say that this direction is positive, this direction is negative. And if I have a row that lead to a stop sign, and this stop sign is red, so we're gonna say stop here. And I have a car here. Everybody been making fun of my car today. But this car is going this way, and the velocity is equal to positive. And but when I see the stop sign, what's my acceleration? It's negative because you're not pressing the gas when you see the stop sign, right? You press the brake, but the brake is pulling your car backwards. So that's why eventually come to zero velocity. So your brake is going to be negative. So this is a negative. Does that make sense? So that's how you come to the stop. Now your car, once you pass stop sign, when your car is right here, what does it do?
Positive acceleration and velocity.
Positive velocity, right? And AFT is going to be positive as well. Why? Because this is, okay, this is speeding up. And this part is slowing down.
Car is going to the right.
Yep, they all go to the right. Okay, so this is slow down. How many of you guys understand this? It's pretty easy to understand going this direction. So you're decelerating because you press the brake instead of the gas. So your AFT is actually negative, but after stop sign, you press the gas, but it's positive direction. So at first case, the direction doesn't really matter at this case because we go into the positive direction. Now, when you go into negative direction, the things kind of change a little bit. So let's just say car is going to this way. What's my velocity?
Negative.
Velocity is negative. Do you see that? Because I'm going to the negative direction. How about my acceleration?
Negative.
Acceleration is
Negative. Because it's coming to a stop though.
Wait, the car is slowing down again.
yeah, because when you go to the stop sign, you have to
Slowing
stop.
down, but you're going the opposite
Negative.
direction, so it cancels out.
So what is my acceleration?
Positive.
Is it going to the right?
Is pulling the car backwards.
Yeah.
Because this car has to have a counter force to go in this way, right? In order to really slow down this car before the stop sign. So the AFT is actually positive because that direction is positive.
What's that again? What's pulling?
So let's just say if today, let's just say if I'm going this way, it's positive, right? So before I go to, if I go to the stop sign, I am going forward, right? And my acceleration is going backward, like somebody's pulling my shirt. And I'm going forward, and eventually somebody pulled my shirt and slow myself down. So it's in this shirt direction is my acceleration.
Left.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
It's going to the left.
Okay.
So positive, negative. After the stop sign, I'm gonna go still going that way. So me going forward, but somebody is pulling. It's like
Oh, okay. So your
That's
acceleration is
positive.
positive.
yeah, so that's positive. So that's why you're speeding up.
Okay.
Now when you're going backwards here, my velocity is negative because I'm going in a negative direction. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense.
But what happened when I see the stop sign is somebody's pulling my shirt back, says, hey, slow down, there is a stop sign. So this acceleration is actually what? Positive.
But it's pulling in a negative direction.
Yes.
But I don't understand why it's different than when you're going this way because you're doing the same thing, you're just going a different way.
Because you assign that positive is this direction, negative that direction.
So we just made it.
Pulling in the positive direction.
Yes. Does that make sense, Sophia? Because we are assigning this direction is positive, assign this direction is negative.
So if it's the other way around, it could be different too. You
So-
can do whatever you want.
So let's just say if I'm going this way, right? I'm going to the negative direction. I'm going to the negative direction. But my acceleration is pulling this way to really stop me at a stop sign.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
That makes sense.
Okay? And when you go in past the stop sign, I want to go this way, but I'm pulling myself forward because I want to accelerate. So it's still, my acceleration is this direction, it's negative. So it's negative, negative.
So it's just contingent on which way you put the positive and negative.
Exactly.
You
So
can put it either way.
So no, you're not putting it the other way. You can assign at very beginning, right? You can assign very beginning, but usually is positive is to the right, negative is to the left, just like a number line. So in this case, I have a velocity is negative and acceleration is also negative. Okay, so in this perspective, I am actually slow down. I'm gonna do it in blue. So this is blue, and this is red. Now, if you have problem memorizing this, you're probably memorizing this, then, okay, let me write down, this is slowing down. This is slowing down. And this is speeding up. Okay, so this should be red. Okay, so that is the orientation you had to understand. So the conclusion of this, the best way to conclude this is to tell you, how do you know it's speed up? Speed up is A of t and V of t have same sign. Why you have same sign? Look at this. You got a negative and negative, speeding up. Positive, positive, speeding up. Does that make sense?
Yes.
And for red is slowing down. Slowing down is A of t and v of t have opposite sign. And only if you have opposite sign, you can slow it down. But I can go both negative direction, I can go both positive direction, and that's speeding up. Does that make sense? So that's first understanding. Before I go over the homework, because one homework question kind of need this. I think it's question 8. But I want you to do them, see if you can get it.
Did that.
Okay,
Oh my god. We got B as in boy.
what's the answer? Okay.
Number 8. I didn't get that one.
So let's just say if I have something like this. Okay, we got a 0, A, B, C, D. And that's a velocity graph. If I give you a velocity graph, and I can say, hey, which interval is particle slowing down? Can you tell me which region is slowing down? Which interval is it slowing down? Don't busy raise your hand. Think about it first and write it down. Really analyze it first. I think a lot of you guys are too quick to jump in the conclusion. It happened last period. It happened the period before. Is you guys are too quick to. I love There's some type of people like they are analyzing. So a lot of like, I think Will Purser is like that. I don't know if you would know Will Purser. He every time when you give him a question, he just start thinking. He's not the first one to respond. He will start thinking why that is. So and don't be the one that be the first one to raise a hand, jump in the conclusion. Think about it. What's going to be? Maybe easy, maybe hard. So you never know. Think about it before you correct the answers. A lot of you guys wanted that instant feedback. The instant feedback is very scary. My son included. Yeah, everybody come up with a solution? Okay. Let's start with Norman. What do you think?
A to B and C to D.
A to B and where? A to B and C to D. Okay. Ilya, what do you think? What'd you say?
From B to B.
B to D? Okay. Nicholas, what do you think?
A to B, C to D.
Mason?
I'm not too sure.
That's fair. Kyle?
A to B.
Rudolph?
A to B, C to D.
Wrong brush?
A to B. I don't know, C to D.
You know about C to D? Safia?
I said C to D and A to C.
Okay. Lennon?
A to B and C to D.
A to B to what?
And C to D.
Matthew?
A to B, C to D.
Then you want to explain it?
I'll try that. So
Okay.
this is, so we're looking for things with the opposite signs, right?
Uh-huh.
And so from A to B, the slope is negative. Wait, let me bring that straight. the slope is negative, but it's in the positive, like top part. Sorry.
Above x-axis.
Yeah. And from C to D, the slope is positive, but it's in the negative. That was my thing. And like from decreasing it would increase the conflict down. And when it goes from A to B, it's slowing down, and from B to C, it's starting to speed up, and then from C to D, it starts slowing back down again. Like that's my thing. Until it reverses again. It was like, yeah, it's all good. Yeah. Something.
Yeah. I think. Kind of.
I think Mason's still kind of confused.
Is the other time they switch directions of which they're moving at B?
They just switch direction at B.
Then yeah, I think.
Is that right? A to B, C to D.
I'll explain this way. I'll do a number line test just because I like number line tests. BOT, right? And they are positive when they are B. This is positive, this is negative. Are we okay here? A of T. Well, before A, you have positive slope, which is the A of T is a derivative of it. So you have positive slope is increasing. And to C is decreasing because it's going down. From C to D is going up. The slowing down is the opposite sign. So obvious is not this case because they have two positive signs. You see this region here is that one's positive, one's negative. So it's A to B. And also I hear it's going to be speed up here. And then you're going to slow down right here. Slow down is after the C. So that's where your understanding is. It's going to be C. Now that's for me to understand something because I like to actually use a graph to think about it. I'm not able to visually understanding because I'm not very bright. So that's where I figure out how to do it. But again, you guys can come your own interpretation. But the final goal is speed up is ANT and VAT has the same sign. ANT and VAT has opposite sign, then it's slowing down. Okay. So let's go back to the homework questions. Let me know if you have a question on the first one.
You know we're number 3.
Sure. Number 1, does it make sure everybody answer them? Number 2 is kind of interesting. I got E. Did you guys get E?
Wait, 1 is E.
2.
Yeah, one is E.
Oh, one is E2.
Where did the one go?
So the keyword is velocity. What do you do to find velocity? Take a derivative. If you want to find velocity is increasing, that means if you want something is increasing or decreasing, you take another derivative. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And you do a number line test, and you test. Well, it turns out between 0 and 1 is negative. Between 1 to infinite, or square root 3 in this case, is positive. So answer is E, because velocity increasing. Am I going too fast?
Wait, can you say it again?
Because they say find what time as a velocity. Well, let's not finish a sentence, just velocity. Velocity is 12t, so 4t cubed minus 12t, right? Now, if I want to find a function is increasing, guess what? I have to take another derivative after that function. In this case, the function is velocity, which is the 4t cubed minus 12t. I had to take a derivative again. I 12t squared minus 12.
The second derivative equals 2.
Yeah, but the thing is, I'm not trying to memorize that. I'm trying to understand increasing mean. Increasing means I have to take a derivative, see if the derivative is positive or negative. So I take a second derivative, set it equal to 0, and I do a number line test because second derivative is asking velocity is increasing.
Where does the root 3 come from?
I have no idea.
Is it like the
The
first derivative equal to 0? Oh, okay.
I got square root 2 over pi. What'd you get?
Which one is it? Oh yeah, I got that.
Average velocity. You don't need to take derivative. You don't take integration. Just plug in b and a. You have to know your trig though. That's why I love this question. No man, what did you make a mistake?
I did the 1 over u.
Yeah, because remember the equation is depends. If a velocity is given, then you want to integrate the position because average velocity is changing position over changing time. This one's already in position, then just change positions. Just S of B minus S of A over the time change. And you make that mistake, it's very common. And more likely you make the same mistake on the previous test when I talk to average velocity. So make sure, be conscious which equations given to you. There's a difference between good student and mediocre student. The good student make mistake. Mediocre student make mistake as well. The good student learn from that mistake and not making it again. A mediocre students will make that mistake again. So you want to be mediocre or you want to be a good student? It's definitely not something talent level. We're not talking about genius kids that they don't miss mistake. We're talking about good student versus mediocre student. So like a B student and C student. So S of B minus S of A over B minus A. And the answer is B. Number 4 is 30. Why is 30? Because they want a maximum acceleration. I take a derivative 2 times to get acceleration. And I'm going to plug in the endpoint and critical point. Critical point is I'm going to plug in 1. Actually, I should plug in 1. 0, 1, and 3. So the maximum acceleration, because we judge it for acceleration, so we plug in at the second derivative. So we judge at that, so we find out 36 is the highest.
Acceleration second derivative and velocities first.
Yeah, SVA. That's the order you want to memorize.
If you want to find maximum, then you plug it into a table.
Yeah, you try to find a critical number, plug in a table. So you should take a third derivative, do you? Yeah, you do take a third derivative and set it equal to 0.
Why?
Because third derivative is a critical point of acceleration.
I thought critical point was second.
No, critical point, well, critical point is a derivative of a function. In this case, the function is acceleration. So you should take a third derivative and you got t equal to 1. Now you should plug in 1 into the function and to try what happened. Because 1 is happened to be minimum, which is I screwed up in the first period. I thought it was maximum, but it's actually minimum. So if you plug in 1, you actually get a value less. And that's not the point. So endpoint's higher in this case, A is highest.
But would you, in a situation like this, would you have to do that because the interval is so small? It doesn't matter.
Yes, you should do that because the interval doesn't always small. it can be big. So you have to no, yeah, you have to take care the situation like it can solve all kind of problem for me. But in this case, I will plug in 0, 1, and 3. You can plug in 0, 1, 2, and 3, but how would you know? If you don't plug in, how would you know? That's what I'm trying to say.
You plug in 3 to the original.
Yep. No, not original. The acceleration, because they were looking at for acceleration. Acceleration is your main character. That's what you want to study on. You don't study on position because they don't care about the position. Position is not a matter for them. Question 5, I got 12.5. I got the slope of 2 points. And the best 2 point to pick is 1.8 to 2.2. It's going to be 5 divided by 0.04.
Could you just look at it and realize that it's a
On the AP exam, this FRQ, this is the easiest point you can get, but you have to write
like,
stuff down.
I didn't do anything. Like I just looked at it.
No, you have to write stuff down.
You question?
This will be FRQ question if it's on AP exam.
So how can you word the answer?
You just do S of B minus SA over B minus A. So S of A is 15, S of B is 10, B is 2.2, A is 1.8, and then you plug in, you got an answer.
Oh, so you don't have to explain anything, you just gotta show them your work.
Mm-hmm. You have to show the math though. If you just say answer is 12.5, they cannot give you points.
Like on other ones, they have like the explain question where they're like, why is it, it'd be like, oh, it's going from negative to positive.
Right.
And that's,
But this case is there. Average acceleration. This is a formula you might not have yesterday. Well, basically you're changing velocity over changing time. So then you should get 12. Did you get 12? Because you forgot to take a derivative to get velocity. And you think about changing position over changing time is average velocity. But changing velocity over changing time must be average acceleration. It's the same concept.
Same thing.
Yep. So it's same idea, not the same concept. Remember, it's S of B minus SA over B minus A is average velocity. Average acceleration is one level lower, so we V of B minus B of A over B minus A. Connect it. Number 7. Ooh. If you screw up, it's probably chain rule. How many of you guys screw up on the chain rule? Raise your hand. Did you mess up the chain rule?
well, I did chain rule, but I got the wrong answer.
Did you get V of t equal to 2 plus pi cosine of pi t?
Yes.
Okay. Did you get A of t equal to negative pi squared sine of pi t? Because derivative of cosine is negative.
No. Yeah.
So that's the part you mess up.
Oh, I did my trig wrong. That's probably one.
Yeah, so gotta make sure that you cannot make trick mistake. AP exam doesn't have too much trick. I do it because I want to make you a stronger student. And like I told you, people fail my class still get a 5 on AP exam. You can ask Harmon, you can ask Samuel, you can ask so many kids. Sim got a C in my class, got a 5. So yeah,
Do you like change the grade afterwards or like?
I changed it. Okay.
Oh.
So that means 90% of my students have A. Because I have 90% of students who passed. So I have 60% of students who got a 5.
Do you get an A, you get a 4 or a 5?
Well, it depends. So if Matthew got a 4, I will fail him. Yeah, because he's white. No, I'm just kidding. No, no, because I know which person have a I need to have a higher standard for them. If I don't have them, I'm just handicap them. So I don't think Matthew want me to handicap him either. Right? I don't think he's that type of person either. I don't think Emil is that type of person either. But they will get a 5. I don't think Danny is that type of person either. I don't think you want me to handicap you. I think Rebuff is just moving up too, so he had to get a 5.
I can write about it on my college essay.
No, I don't want to handicap you, so that's
Like,
that's why
literally
you get
figuratively, 'cause
that's
either
how.
way.
Okay, like I mean like Mason in India is not very good at math, but they got a 3. I'll pass them with the A. A 3.
If I get it,
You will be live under your expectation because you're pretty smart. You're probably a 4. But if you don't get if you got a 3, I will give you a B. Rungrat is a 5 too. So fortunately, if you don't earn a 5, then I'm not gonna give you an A. You gotta live up to your expectation. Chef had to get a 6. It's too damn lazy.
Can you get a 1?
No, you get it.
I'll fall asleep at that too.
You probably can't even wake up in the morning. To get there.
I know it's
I'm gonna call you the day of. I'm gonna call you like 6 o'clock as I wake up from the school.
if you call me at 6, I'll wake up at 7ish.
I'm just the
Can you go
exam,
to 6?
Hey.
Number 6.
Number 6, yeah,
But if it's acceleration, don't you have to take the derivative of v of t?
you do.
And then you get
But
average acceleration for average for that.
but no, because you think about it, right? If that average, so think about it this way: average velocity is changing a position over changing time. If you want a 1 lower, so average acceleration, instead of changing position, I want to changing a v over changing t. So that's the way to think about it. It's like 1 level lower. So you want to do the difference of velocity, not difference of acceleration. Difference of acceleration over difference of time is actually another term in physics called jerk, I think. But I'm not good with physics. I cannot tell you what's jerk really mean.
So for this one, you just find derivative.
No, I'm not finding the derivative of v.
Okay,
I'm
but
finding,
derivative of t.
yeah, the s of t, and then you got v of t, and then I do the difference between s of t. Okay? Next question. The questions here is very hard is because of chain rule. It's not anything else. Usually people screw up is a chain rule. Now, if you screw up, it's the best if you do number 9 again and do it properly if you screw up on a chain rule. Okay? So this question, I want you to do it by yourself. So this is the question I want you to do it by yourself. A particle is moving along the x-axis. Now you know what does speeding up mean. Because this question is different than last question. This question is speeding is increasing. Last time you saw the similar question, it was a velocity is increasing. So there was a rudimentary difference compared to two. This one speed is increasing. It means you are speeding up. That means acceleration and v of t must be what? Not opposite,
Absolute.
same sign.
Oh, sorry. I think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
So can you do this one now? You had to do two number lines, and you had to compare. Whether those two number lines is right or not. Did you do it? And if you did it, do number 9. Also, because number 9 is your chain rule. Because you messed up the chain rule last time. So don't mess up the chain rule this time.
I didn't mess up the chain rule last time.
You didn't?
Just got it straight up wrong.
Oh, because you forgot to take a derivative of the
That's right.
cosine. It's negative sign. Anything start with a C, when you take a derivative, anything start with a C, is always end up to be negative.
For regular.
For derivative. So those are things that you gotta do. At least were you here yesterday?
No,
Where were you?
I had to take my CFLE.
What- What is
On
that?
the literacy exam.
Yes.
Wasn't that low key hard?
Yeah, I know it's kind of hard. It's like an 80 question.
They just ask you random government
stuff.
stuff.
Yeah.
I heard it was really easy.
Oh.
Well, it was easy if you knew the amendment.
Oh my god, it was awful. I was in the testing room for 3 hours. I was in there until third period. It
Why?
was so unorganized and like, oh my, it was awful. I was thinking I would be like out of there by second period.
Yeah, they don't let people get out. They start causing trouble. If you did it right, the answer should be B. No, man, you celebrate kind of early. Kind of like goal, but it's not. Upside. I should do that in math. Upside. Premature celebrating. Premature celebrating.
Number 8 was D?
Number A is B.
Oh my god.
Yeah, because I didn't teach you how to do it, so I'm teaching you already now. You're supposed to have a same sign.
I ended up with the same sign, but I didn't know what's used for the interval thing. Greater than.
Do number line test on both of them? Velocity and acceleration?
No.
Maybe you should do that. Offside, that's a good one. Somebody next time they don't let answer correct, I'm gonna say offside.
I should copyright
What's the score?
that.
Yeah, see, it's boring anyway. You don't watch them until like a penalty kick.
We just laughed.
Yeah, I saw that. We're watching it on last period. Because it's penalty kick. We cannot miss penalty kick. I don't care about a half of the game. It's gonna be 0-0 or 2-2 or 1-1. Yeah, it's just people running around. I'm not watching that part.
Like,
Yeah, I got B.
most teams are even.
I don't know the answer choice.
Who do you think is gonna win today?
For number 8. It's
So here's my work. The B.
Between 2 and 3?
no. it's
Between 1 and 2. Do you see that this sign here, they both are negative?
Yeah.
And this between 1 and 2. And between 3 and above.
Is Ronaldo playing more?
They have rules.
They're out, right? Or Ronaldo, Portugal. I don't like him. A lot of people have been ratting on him on everywhere
What?
now.
Wait.
Like he's a very
It's like
selfish.
He's
This
good.
is the one for
I don't like watching him play.
acceleration. So in this one, your points are 1 or 3 after factoring.
What?
And
Okay,
then
it's positive from infinity to 1.
Can't say he's not
Negative
good.
from infinity, right?
He's not that good.
Yeah, but the other player is better than him. The other player scored 3 goals in one game.
two,
Yeah.
positive.
So which one is intercept?
Whatever his name is.
Ronald?
They
So
scored-
you
they scored
divide
6
out like
goals
this.
to 1.
Around from
And I don't
1
know
to
if they make a
2,
single
it's
one of those
negative
goals.
2,
That's like-
that means it's
what was
the
his
same thing.
name?
And then from
Uh-huh.
3 on, it's positive.
Yeah,
So you
just
might
mention
be
it
that
to
thing.
them. They mentioned it.
Because I take a second derivative.
Like one of the directors
And I said they go to 0. And I do a number line test. Because you have to compare the acceleration and velocity.
But like obviously one without him. Even better without him.
Okay, so if you do number line 9 chain rule correctly, you should end up to be -5/2. If you did it correctly, did you get it correctly? You did it, and it's good. Moving on. Number 10.
Which one was that? 5 over 2?
That was nice.
Right, -5/2.
5/2.
Which one did we just do? 8? Oh, shoot.
Number 10 is B.
Yeah.
Number 11. T equal to 3.
Why would you put negative 3?
Wait, is it negative or positive?
-3, sorry, -3. Because you had to plug it back into the plugging back into velocity functions.
I think I've
So not only you got a 3, you got to plug it back in. For here is negative 2 pi. Now this question's kind of hard. It requires some algebra skills. If you take a second derivative, it should end up to be negative 4 cosine pi over 2t times pi squared over 4. If you set it equal to 0, it doesn't matter. It only matters what's inside the parenthesis because all of them is going to cancel out with the 0. So the negative pi squared is going to cancel out. So you're going to get cosine pi over 2t equal to 0. And then you figure out when the cosine equal to 0, which is equal to pi over 2. And you got rid of pi over 2 on both sides, t equal to 1. And 1, you had to plug it back in to get negative 2 pi because you got to plug in back to velocity because the question's asking what is the velocity. So they are kind of tricky. So that's the statement you had to read. Question 13, I'll take a second derivative. Sorry. Yeah, take a second derivative. I take a second derivative, I find out when's negative, which 2/3 to 2. Last one, I just finding the slope between 2 points. The reason why the answer is question says what is the approximate value of acceleration of particle at t equal to 2? So the closest thing you can get is 1.5 to 2. And that's what I got, 1.6. And there we go. That's all the homework going over. Today's homework is gonna be more velocities. So it's gonna look like this. So let's ask this question. Okay. So at first few, they are pretty easy. They're asking slow down, increase, furthest to the left. Ooh, I didn't talk about this question on previous period. I don't know, does everybody know what this is? Number 8. I didn't talk about on previous period because I didn't get that far. We're watching penalty kick on last period.
Okay, I'm
Rebuff. Left, right.
no, I got it. It's just I have to like visualize it like first. I think I got it though. Wait, which one is negative? Is left negative or is right negative?
Let's like
I
number
got
line.
it. No, I got it. Yeah, I think I got it.
Okay. Mason, what do you think? How many people said C? How many people said it's different answer? Okay, Rebuff, what's your answer? Is what?
B.
B? Okay. So it'll be Matthew, Rebuff versus everybody else, right? So what do you think B is the correct answer and C is the wrong answer? And what do you guys think C is the right answer, B is? Rebuff, what do you think?
I think it's B because that's the thing for velocity, right? And so velocity is just like the slope of position. We're looking for like when the slope will be. I actually don't know. I kind of understand, but like I don't know how to explain it.
Okay, Mason.
I thought it was like on the other one, like from A to B, like it was like speeding up and it slowed down to C, and then the other way with the other direction.
C is correct. C is correct.
Take the integral, right? And then C integral will be like this part right here, and then C is the furthest away.
No, if you do think about integral, because this is a particle keep on moving left, velocity is below x-axis. It keep on moving left, so C is gonna be the leftmost.
Oh, but is my reasoning wrong?
Your reasoning will be how much if left is, because if you take integral from A to C, it's gonna give you a negative, and that amount of area is negative. Then we'll go move to the left. How many units?
Okay.
So
it actually starts right here.
Then like
yeah, that's what turn around. So C is correct. Mason's correct.
So yeah, for the Zoom extra credit, how do you put that in? Yeah.
Matthew, you're not able to come after school anymore on Friday?
I can starting next week or like. What day is it?
Next week I won't be here.
Sorry, I don't even. Oh, December 9th.
Next week I won't be here.
I can start coming like next time. I just can't today.
Okay. All right, but are you able to go to Orlando Science one, the competition?
What day was that again?
I have no idea. Hold on, let me see if I can find it. Orlando Science is
Yeah, 28th.
mhm. Danny, you want to go?
I might. I want to go just to see what's like. Yeah.
Yeah, you'll get destroyed, but that's good.
I'll talk to my coaches about it. I'm gonna experience. Yeah. Just see.
Yeah, it's not about win or lose or gain something. It's just to learn something.
Yeah.
Like to have fun. Life is about experience,
Yeah.
different things.
Is it on like a Saturday, Sunday?
Saturday,
Okay.
28. January 28. Okay.
Sounds good. Yeah.
What's up,
January
Mason?
28th? The Zoom extra credit, have you put that in yet? Because on mine it's like, but I was there with the days.
I gotta check my record
Okay.
because I recorded things. So
Yeah, no problem.
Oh, you don't have.
Are we having a math meeting today? Or?
Jay, have a good weekend. No one's going to ask.
they usually come like 5 minutes later. They usually come 5 minutes.
miss Prague if I came here early. I don't know.
For Ali? Huh?
He's my guidance concert.
For what? What do you need him for?
My college stuff. So
Are you going to college?
apparently,
UCF?
Yeah.
UF? You got accepted? You got accepted?
not yet.
February, right?
Okay, again.
Wait, do you still have to get accepted?
Like I applied, but like I already have.
Letter intent? They call it letter of intent,
Yeah.
right?
Mhm. Yeah, still have to apply.
Wait, Mystery. I'm still saying I'm ready for a 14-year round.
All right, then prove to me.
It's really easy.
Is that little boy coming in?
Liang Liang, yeah. Come in. Liang Liang just won 4th grade math competition. He destroyed everybody.
We should congratulate.
Alright, I'm gonna get it here. Can I erase all this?
Sure.
Does he know what he wants to do when he grows up?
No, he does a lot of things though. Yeah, but he don't do sports. He don't do sports, but he should have done sports too. That'd be pretty crazy. But like he does like 3D model, like robotics and computers programming. He does all the sciencey stuff.
Is this English?
You agree with this, right?
Mhm.
This is ST equals 1.95. Because it's in 1.5, right? Now here's the crazy part.
Not t equal to 1.75. It's not necessary t equal to 1.75.
It's in between, right?
No, it just the okay. Go ahead. I'll let you
It's
finish.
average.
Yeah, I'll let you finish.
Now, so you can find the average at t 1.5, right?
No, we want to find out acceleration at t equal to 2.
2, right? So this is 2 minus 1. 4
Okay.
at t equals 5.
How is that t equal to 5?
It's an average of it, average at 1.5. So just assume that it's
How is that 5 though? T equal to 1. You take the average between 1 and 2,
Yeah.
and it should be 1.5. Not
Like 3/4 of the BC students are gonna be have to leave early for the concert.
when.
They're just not like we're not staying till 3:30. Like
Oh no, I don't need you to stay. You can leave anytime.
Alright.
No problem. You got a value between 1.5 and 2.0, so it should be around 1.75. But you take an average between 2 and 1, that should be 1.5. So
At
the
1.5, it's 1.4, right? It's
yeah, but
1.4.
you're not gonna get over 2. The closest thing is 1.5 to 2.0.
Yeah, but then you average out 1.5 and 1.6. I mean, you take the average of 1.4 and x, you get 1.6, and that would be 1.8.
No, they just want the two closest values between the two. So the best way is to find out is the slope between 1.5 to 2.0. You don't need to consider. You actually use 9.2. Yeah, use 9.2. That's even less than 1/2. So you're not gonna get the closest value at 2. The closest value is at 2.
No, but I'm saying for this one, if we have at 1.5, right?
Yeah, but you don't need to figure out
thought it was
1.5.
right.
You already have 1.5.
No, but I'm saying slope at 1.5, average at 1.5.
Okay, so think about this, right? Think about I have a function and I have something like this, right? And think about 2. That is the slope I'm looking for. But I have 1.5 to here. This is the closest thing that you can do because this is the between two data. This is the closest thing that you can get to. You don't have another value.
I know, but what I'm trying to say here is, so you see how it's 2 here, right?
Yes.
And then this is 1.5.
Yes.
So we don't know what the slope at 1.5 is.
the same as the slope of 2.
No, if you do the tangent at 1.5, we don't know what this is.
You are if you're taking 1.5 to here, you're looking at the slope, it's gonna be a secant line between 2 points.
What I'm saying is a tangent line here. We got the slope here. Tangent at not secant, a tangent line at 1.5.
Yeah.
To figure that wouldn't be the average between 2 and 1. Wouldn't that be a tangent line at 1.5?
That
I have
would only be
no-
the case if it was a perfect.
I have no freaking clue what you're saying.
He's saying that if you took the average between 1 and 2, it'd be equal to the tangent at 1.5. That would only
No,
be-
that's not true.
that would only be if it was like a straight line. Since it's concave, it would be slightly off.
I see.
The tangent would be slightly different.
You're just thinking about it in terms of that problem, but like imagine
But yeah, I'm saying in terms of that problem.
in terms of this problem, even then, no.
Unless it's a perfectly straight line, no.
I don't know if it's not.
It's not a straight line. There's a curvature to it.
But it's increasing like this, right?
So
No, I think I was saying
I don't know what is he saying, but this is the question. This is the question. They
So what
say
I was
what's
saying is-
find an approximation at t equal to 2.
We found out
So-
the average value between 1.5 and 2, right?
Yeah, good job.
So then you find out.
It's an approximation.
Yeah, what I'm trying to say is
The whole point of
Based off the
the whole point of
value.
reading the
Huh?
you're the math